So it's Season 4 in our Football Manager 26 beta save with Southampton, and obviously we're not in the beta anymore. I was hoping to get all this done in the beta, but things happened, life happened, got in the way. But Season 4, we are back in the Premier League after finishing top of the Championship, comfortably winning ourselves promotion. And if we just remind ourselves what happened last time we were in the Premier League, we finished rock bottom, finishing on 24 points. So hopefully this time around, we can do one better, and that is, I guess, not get relegated. I do think we're in a slightly better situation as well, because we have got a squad that we've kind of started to build ourselves. Like Tommy Doyle is a player that we've brought in. Bajstar, obviously, we brought in back in the Premier League as well. We've got in some players, Willock hasn't really played too much, so the less we say about him, the better. But we've kind of started to build our team, selling players who didn't necessarily fit our system, bringing in players who do. So we are going to jump forward to the end of the transfer window, see what transfer business we can do. If we have a very quick look, if I can find where it is, we can see that our transfer budget for next season is at £61.69 million. And the season after that is £73.49 million, assuming we don't get relegated. £61 million is a lot of money. Last time in the Premier League, our way of spending money and our investment into improving the first team squad wasn't very good. I'll be the first to admit that. So hopefully this time around we can do a little bit better and we can strengthen where we need to strengthen. Well, already, after 3 games in the league, we have got 4 points on the board. We are sat mid-table. We've got 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 defeat. We have scored 4. We've scored 3, conceded 4. If this season finishes like this, I will be a very happy man, because if we can finish mid-table, that's amazing. I think realistically, we're still going to be in a relegation battle. Obviously, we're 3 games in. It is far too early to tell. I have just remembered as well that we're in the Europa Conference League. We are into the group stages as well, because I think we played a couple of matches to qualify for here or not. No, we just got here just by winning the cup, didn't we? So yeah, we're in the group stage. I don't know how well this is going to go. I'd like to get out of the group stage. I'd love to win the thing. I don't think that's going to happen. Not really too fussed about the Europa Conference League, to be honest. Anyway, we're obviously back after the transfer window has closed, so let's talk about some transfer business that has taken place. We've got a few players leaving on free transfers. Thierry Rohart-Brown has moved over to Dijon after his contract expired. Wellington has moved to Middlesbrough after his contract expired, which I wasn't sure this was a good idea because he was amazing for us last season. But I thought, you know what, I feel like we can do better. Feel like we can do better than Wellington. He's a championship level left back, so he has moved on. And Kuryu Matsuki has also left on a free transfer, moving back to his native Japan, going to Vissel Kobe on a free transfer. We never really played him. We did score 1 and got an assist. Spent the season out on loan last year. Did pretty good, actually, for Bristol City. But yeah, we were never going to get really much use up, and particularly now we're back in the Premier League. Joining the club, we brought in a few players on various deals. Carl Rushworth is the first one. He's come in on loan from Brighton until the end of the season, but we are signing him on a permanent deal because I think he's better than Bazunu, and we kind of need to get ourselves a new number 1 goalkeeper. Hopefully Rushworth is that man. Or if it's not Rushworth, it's Kari Ranson, who is a youngster signed from Arsenal, I believe. He's come in from Arsenal, £600,000, spent last season on loan at Wickham in League One. I actually tried to buy him in January last season. I didn't realise he was on loan. He's probably one for the future, to be honest. I can't see him playing too much now. Moving into the probably ridiculous values now, Alfie Dorrington next up, 23-year-old English central defender signed from Spurs, 2.5-star current ability, which isn't particularly high, but £13.75 million transfer fee, which is particularly high. I'm not convinced this was a sensible bit of transfer business. Now, I did say earlier, we need to do better transfers. This one isn't one of them. It's fine, we have done better transfers. It might not seem like it on paper, but Harrison Burrows is a better transfer and he is a more expensive transfer. The left back has come in, obviously, to replace Wellington, formerly of Sheffield United, for £16.5 million. I think he's going to be superb. I actually had him in FM24 playing for QPR and he was really good. So I went, you know what, let's go for it. He's got lots of 11s, 12s, 13s and 14s. If he can just jump up those numbers by a couple, he's going to turn into a really good footballer. And another really good footballer is David Effengruber, who is an Austrian central defender, 24 caps to his name. He is signed from Elche in Spain for £26.5 million. It's a lot of money, but he's a very good defender, right? It's sensible to buy this type of defender. We needed to shore up our defence. I signed this guy after I signed Dorrington. Dorrington was going to be the man to shore up the defence, and I went, he's not good enough. And then I found Effengruber and went, no, Effengruber's the man to shore up this defence. We are not done with players joining the club, however. We have also signed Jonathan Duberson on a free transfer after his contract had expired. The 28-year-old Belgian international with just 4 caps to his name. He's a striker and or winger, not really quite sure. I kind of signed him initially to be a striker, but actually he can play on that left-hand side as well pretty comfortably. Signed from Sporting Gijón over in Spain in the second division, but he scored stupid amounts of goals in the last 3 seasons. If he can just replicate that season, I'll be very happy. 32 goals in 42 appearances, and they didn't get promoted. Kind of embarrassing, right? We've also picked up James Maddison on a free transfer as well. He got released basically right at the end of the transfer window. Spurs went, we're not going to play you, we're just going to release you. And I went, on a free transfer, he's pretty good. 21 league appearances last season. We've got ourselves a good player, even if he's only for a year or two. He's coming as a squad player. He's not on massive wages, really, in the grand scheme of things. I'm pretty happy with this one. The next one, I'm even more happy with, and it's definitely unrealistic and will never happen in real life. And that's a 30-year-old Marcus Rashford on a free transfer. Similar situation to Maddison, United just released him. They went, we're probably not going to play you guys, so we'll just get rid of you, so we've picked him up on a free transfer. Obviously, season on loan at Barcelona, just the 5 goals, 6 goals on his return to United, no goals in the following season, and we've picked him up on a free transfer. He's clearly too good for us. The fact that he wanted to play for a team in a relegation scrap as well, kind of impressive. I'm pretty happy with that. He's yet to kick a ball for us, by the way. We literally signed him like 2 days ago, and we haven't played a match since. A few other bits of transfer business to talk about. We've got some other players leaving the club. Jason Quinones has moved on to Freiburg. He's gone for £1.5 million, so we technically made a profit on him. He wasn't very good. Yanis Hadji has also moved on. He's signed for Albatin for £4.7 million. For a player who really didn't play much for us at all, that's a massive amount of profit. And for £11.75 million, Leo Cienza, now Luxembourg international, has moved back to Germany, signing for Hoffenheim. It was a good amount of money. I couldn't really turn it down. I think it was out of contract as well at the end of this season. And I went, I think we are going to outgrow you quicker than you're going to outgrow us. And that money you can't really turn down. So we've even made a profit on Cienza. We've also got some loans, so O'Brien Whitmarsh going on loan to Cadiz. We've got Mbete to MacArthur. We've got Nathaniel Boot has gone to Leyton Orient. What else? Jimmy J. Morgan to Bolton. Kemar Wowell to Bristol Rovers. And Sean Foley to Watford. We will now check last season, because despite the fact that this game is not in beta anymore, this still doesn't work for me for some reason. So I guess we have to go to the recruitment feedback thing. So is there anyone else new that we haven't seen? Ashley Phillips, yes, yep, that's the thing that we did. We signed Ashley Phillips. Yeah, he was a free transfer. He's not on a lot of money. I think it was fine, right? He's one for the future. He's 23. He's kind of one for the future. Is there anyone else on that list? Doesn't look like it. Transfers out. So we've got, obviously, Quinones is there. Cienza Hadji is there. Anyone else? Sugawara. Yeah, Sugawara's a recent one, right? That happened over the summer. Maybe not. Maybe last season. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'd love it if it just kind of worked. Can we see hide youth players? Does that help? I feel like there's more, because that's not everyone, right? Maybe that is everyone. Anyway, that's the transfer situation. Obviously, like I said, we are currently sat 10th place in the table. If we have a look at our fixtures and see how we kicked off the season. So, we had to get past Sturm Graz in the Europa Conference League to get into the main competition. We did beat them 2-1 and 6-1. In the Premier League, we kicked off with a 2-0 win against Ipswich Town, Finnazaz and Bajdar with the goals in this. We got smashed by Liverpool, which was kind of expected. And then the draw comes against Bournemouth, 1-1. Bajdar with the equaliser in this one, and we've also just managed to squeak past Crawley on penalties after Tom Fellows scored. So all in all, I think we're in a pretty good position right now. When it comes to our best players, we've actually got 4 players who are 4 stars. So we've seen Rashford, we've seen Afan Gruber, we've got Shea Charles, who did have some interest in him over the summer, which we have kind of just ignored, to be honest. He is a 4-star current ability for the 24-year-old Northern Irish international. He's good, isn't he? I can't imagine he's going to get huge amounts better, though. So for £68 million, which is basically the asking price I put in, I'd probably snap the hand off, to be honest. And the other one, which I really don't want to lose, is Jay Robinson. The now 21-year-old left winger has again had interest. Not as much interest. I think Man United wanted him in like season 1 and 2, and then they kind of just walked away, to be honest. I am imagining there will be a bit more interest in Robinson in the coming seasons, particularly if he plays well this year. And so far, he's started off okay, getting an assist in both the Europa Conference League and in the Premier League as well. But Jay Robinson is obviously a very good footballer. We've got a whole load of other players as well on 3.5 stars. So Azaz, Duberson, Madison, Bajdar on 3.5. And then the 3-star players, they're good, right? That 3-star is fine. 3-star is fine. The worrying thing is your Ursulevs, your Downs, your Willocks, your Dorringtons, your Barabres. You've got your Bella Kotchaps, your Teoakos. Not even sure if that's how that's said. Phillips, Moody, Lee Dodge. We've got Sam McCallum, Setford, McAteer, Quasi, Moses Sesse, Kadamatri, Traore, and James Sexton. No one's good. We've got a good first team, and that's probably about it. I'm not too convinced we're going to stay in the league. Obviously, we will come back in a moment to January just to see how well things have gone on for the first part of the season. We are going to stick with the same formation. We're going to lock in one player, and that is Lee Dodge, because basically I'd rather get him better than just keep playing Ruslev. And I think it's working. Dodge is turning into a slightly better footballer. Anyway, let's jump forward then to the start of January. We'll take a look to see how this season has started. And if we are still mid-table, I will be a very happy man. Yeah, we're not mid-table anymore. It's now the 1st of January. We have dropped all the way down to 16th. In fact, when you look at those arrows, we were all the way down in 18th place and have just leapt over Bournemouth and Leicester. But the key thing is, we do have 2 games in hand against quite a few teams around us. We are doing so much better than last season. We've got 19 points. We're literally 6 points away from what we finished on last season, and we're technically not even halfway through this one. So if we can continue to play how we have been playing, finish on 38 points, we should be fine. 38 points would have been enough for safety in that season. And that season, maybe, it probably wouldn't. It might have been, depending on who got the 38 points. It would have been in that season as well. So 38 points it's not a bad target to go for, right? Obviously, the magic 40 is where we're aiming. Just having a very quick look as well. The Europa Conference League. I think we're doing quite well in the Europa Conference League. So we will have got through the group stage, if I can actually, show the league. This one, main path, Champions League phase. That's the fella we want. We won the group. We won the group ahead of Atalanta in second place. 6 wins out of 6. Just 5 goals conceded. I'm pretty happy with how that's gone. I kind of would rather you perform like this in the Premier League, though, not the Europa Conference League. Anyway, the transfer window is open. We've got about £10 million to spend, which is not a lot of money at all. But we might see what we can do. Obviously, we've got some players in our squad that we can sell. The problem is we are over our wage budget by 5.4%, which equates to £100,000. That's a lot of money. We might need to sell somebody who's getting paid too much. Let's have a look. Who is getting paid too much? So contractually, sort by wages. Affengruber is on a lot of money, but I'm kind of okay with that. Shea Charles is on a lot. Fellows is on a lot. I mean, Fellows sounds like he's on too much. Bajdar sounds like he's on too much. Casey McAteer is definitely on too much. So is Bailey Kadamatri. So there are players that we could move on if we can find somebody who's willing to take them. Willock as well is on too much money. He's worth £17.5 million. So we might see what we can do over January to just try and just trim down, I guess, the squad. Because I think we've got too many players who are getting paid too much money at the moment. Well, let's jump forward then to the end of January. See if we are going to spend this £10 million, but probably most likely what is going to happen is we're going to sell a bunch of people, aren't we? Or we'll loan out a lot of people and sell one. Armel Bella-Kotchap has been sold. He has moved to Altai in, I'm going to say, Saudi Arabia for £1.2 million. It wasn't a lot of money, but nobody was willing to pay any money for him. He was out of contract at the end of the season. We've just moved him on. We've got a bit of cash. I don't think it's really affected our wage bill a huge amount, though. We have managed to loan out, however, a lot of players who weren't playing for us, like Joe Willock. He's gone to Getafe. He is listed. He is leaving the club at the end of the season, if we have a look here as well. McAteer has gone to Birmingham. We've got Madison as well, not playing. He's gone to Hellas Verona over in Italy too. So we've got rid of some players who are kind of off the books, but also they're still on the books. We're paying less wages for them, but they're probably going to be coming back. We can just have a look here at our finances, if I can find our wages. So we are now considerably under, to be honest. But next season, we'll be back over it again once all those players return, because they're not going to sign for those clubs. Hellas Veronas are not going to be buying James Madison. The other thing that's going on in the Premier League, we have played 5 more fixtures and we've managed to get ourselves onto 23 points. So it's been okay. It's not been amazing. We've moved up or stayed in 16th place, not quite sure. But we are still in this relegation scrap, just 2 points clear of Bournemouth. But we do have a game in hand. I'd like to kind of join this Brighton Leeds Forest Spurs group of teams. That would be good, because at the moment there's 5 teams scrapping in the bottom, and we are currently the top of those 5, and I'd rather not even be in those 5 if we can help it. One thing we have managed to do, or I say managed to do, one thing we've kind of decided to do is lock in Rushworth, because he wasn't playing, and I think he is a better goalkeeper than Bazunu. Despite the fact he has played 10 games and conceded 18 and only kept 2 clean sheets, I think he's a better goalkeeper than Bazunu, and in theory, he's joining us at the end of the season, and he will be our number 1 goalkeeper when he joined on a permanent deal. So let's just set that up now. Bazunu, he's not getting better. He's okay. He's not getting better. He's 26. He's not necessarily like hit his development level, but he's not getting better, and that's my worry. So we're going to go for Rushworth for the second half of the season to see if he can do any better. Realistically, all we need to do is not get relegated. Sounds easy. My transfer dealings haven't been particularly good. We're just going to have to roll with it because the window's shut now. We can't do any more business. Well, the season has finished, and we have luckily managed to stay in the Premier League. I'm not going to kind of tease you to find out whether we have managed to stay in the league, but there were a few key fixtures that helped us stay in the league, this being one of them against Manchester United at St Mary's Stadium. Marcus Rashford gets on the score sheet a couple of times. Bajdar finds Robinson back to Bajdar, blasts it past Lunin. It's 1-0 after 15 minutes. This, by the way, I think is a Man United team that are battling for the title at this point, and we have managed to overdo them quite comfortably as well, by the way. This is literally right at the start of the second half, by the way. That kickoff was the start of second half, not from our goal that we scored. So Burrows finds Marcus Rashford on the left. Burrows back to Rashford, obviously the former Man United man, released on a free in the summer, cuts inside, blasts it past Lunin. It is now 2-0. And Marcus Rashford makes it 3 from the penalty spot. Mateus Cunha, I believe, is the man picking up a red card, giving away the penalty. Rashford blasts it into the opposite corner from Lunin. 3-0 up against Man United, and we're still not done. In the 95th minute of the game, Fellows plays it to Roerslev. Roerslev across in the middle, finds Tommy Doyle. By the way, Tommy Doyle, former Manchester City man, so I imagine he probably wants to score a goal as well against Man United. Bajdar collects it in the middle, finds Burrows, who has been superb for us this season, by the way. Rashford on that left-hand side. Is he going to do anything? No, he's not. This is going to be a highlight that's just going to take absolutely forever, isn't it? So we'll come back in just a second. I've just seen we managed to get a player sent off as well, who I'm not even sure who that was, but yeah, apparently we're down to 10 men. So it is 10 versus 10 at the moment as we enter the 96th minute of the match. Burrows on the ground finds Finazaz across to Rashford. Can he get himself a hat-trick? Takes his time, spins on the spot, plays it in the middle to Tommy Doyle when the former Manchester City man makes it 4-0 against Man United. For a relegation scrapping side, this is a ridiculously good victory. We didn't get a player sent off. It was Rashford's penalty. It's the beta that's not a beta, isn't it? That's the problem. That's what that red card was for. We also had in the final game of the season, way up north in Sunderland at the Stadium of Light against Sunderland, who were relegated at this point, by the way. We didn't technically need to win this game, but we decided to win it anyway. Robinson with the opening goal of the game after 19 minutes. Dodge and Robinson there combined age there, I think, of 40 years old between the pair of them. And we do double our lead on the 40th minute, or roughly the 40th minute. Rashford collects the ball from Finazaz, blasts it past the goalkeeper. I think it takes a lucky deflection, making it 2-0. Sunderland do get themselves a consolation goal right at the end of the game. But it is a 2-1 victory in the final game of the season, and we have stayed in the Premier League somewhat comfortably, right? 4 points clear of Leicester, who are in 18th place. We finished in 16th. We've stayed in the league 36 points. If you go back a few seasons, 36 points would have got us relegated in most of those seasons. But it hasn't got us relegated this time around. So I'm kind of okay with that. That's pretty good. Bournemouth getting relegated is interesting because they've got some players that could be worth poaching in the summer. In the other competitions, we did get knocked out of the FA Cup by Bournemouth by the looks of it. We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, but it doesn't actually tell us who we got knocked out against, but that is fair enough. And we got knocked out of the Europa Conference League as well against AZ Alkmaar in the quarter-final stage. So we actually did not too bad. It was Atalanta versus Utrecht in the final. So we got to the quarter-final. Utrecht beating Servette. We got somewhat smashed. We lost 6-5 on aggregate against AZ Alkmaar. Nantes beating Başakşehir. And Atalanta or Bergamo beating Augsburg. And then the semi-final was Utrecht beating AZ in an all-Netherlands semi-final. And then Nantes losing against Atalanta, and obviously the final, we've just kind of seen a 3-1 victory there for Atalanta. I'm kind of okay with that. I wasn't expecting to do too much. I've just seen we've got the most goals of 41 in the competition, though. It's quite a lot of goals. Which kind of says to me, someone scored a lot of goals, right? Who scored a lot of goals? Let's sort by goals. It is Bajdar. Rashford got 13 as well. We're going to start from 8 goals here. So Harrison Burrows as a left-back, 8 goals and 11 assists. 4 of them coming in the Europa Conference League. 4 of them coming in the Premier League as well. We've got Finn Azaz, 11 assists and 9 goals. He got 6th in the league, just 3 in the Europa Conference League. Again, another pretty good season. I think this is his first season, though, where he wasn't our top goal scorer. And I'm okay with that, because Bajdar just outscored him for fun. We've got Robinson, 10 assists and 9 goals as well. Most of his goals are actually coming in the Europa Conference League. Most of his assists coming in the league. He is wanted by Spurs and West Ham. I really don't want to sell you. And if we do sell him, I'd rather you go abroad. Duberson, who had some amazing times playing for, who was it, Elche? No, it was Sporting Gijón. Didn't do particularly well for us. 5 goals in the league, but 9 in all competitions. Good for a rotation player. I mean, he's an important player, but ignore that. Rashford, 13 goals and 8 assists. Actually did really well. 9 of those goals coming in the Premier League. 7 of the assists as well in the Premier League. Massive, massive impact for just a 31-year-old Marcus Rashford. He's easily got another couple of seasons left in him. So this was really, really good signing, right? A really good signing. Like I said when we brought him in, unrealistic, but that's fine. And then at the top of the tree, it is Samed Bajdar with 21 goals, 10 of them in the Europa Conference League, 10 of them in the Premier League, and I assume one of them in an FA Cup or something like that, or the Carabao Cup. Maybe. No, yeah, Carabao Cup. There you go, one in the Carabao Cup. Fair enough. So Bajdar, our top goal scorer for the second season in a row by the looks of it. No assists, or not as many assists this time around, but he's done quite well. For a player who I just kind of randomly found, spent a lot of money, admittedly, did spend a lot of money on. He almost kept us in the Premier League last time around. I think he's definitely kept us in the Premier League this time around. Him and Rashford have been absolutely superb for us. When we sort by average rating, it's Harrison Burrows. I thought he was going to be good. I didn't think he was going to be the best player on our team good. A 7.92 average rating in the Europa Conference League, 7.1 in the league. He is wanted by Newcastle, West Ham and Al Ittihad. I don't want to sell him. I really don't want to sell him, but money talks. £60 million, Harrison Burrows can go to literally any club in the world. £60 million is also a huge amount of money, so I can't imagine that's going to happen. I've just seen as well, Lee Dodge and who else was it? Ronnie Edwards, 54 appearances each. They played in absolutely every single match. Ronnie Edwards played every match and he wasn't locked in, so that's pretty impressive. And he's not even that good, to be honest. Lee Dodge, obviously, he is locked in, so that's why he's played absolutely everything. And he is getting better. He's turning into a much better footballer. That's going to end it for Season 4. Season 5 will be the final season of this Southampton save. And I guess we just need to look upwards, don't we? I don't think we're going to be challenging for a title. We're not going to be winning a cup or anything like that. We're obviously not in a European competition. I just want to finish mid-table. Maybe push for one of the Europa Conference League spots. Possibly. I'd love to win the Carabao Cup again. But to be honest, the fact that we won it in the Championship is probably good enough for me.